What's up, Big Perm? Big Worm?
If you ain't got my money, I'm killing you and him.
What if I told you that Chris Tucker's legendary performance as Smokey almost never happened? His first audition was so catastrophically bad, the casting directors were ready to write him off completely.
Damn!
But one person saw something special beneath that train wreck of reading. That decision didn't just save Tucker's career. It launched him into superstardom and gave us one of the most quotable characters in the history of movies. If you love behind-the-scenes stories that reveal how close we came to losing iconic moments, smash that like button and subscribe to Prime Time Throwback for more Hollywood secrets that they tried to bury. Okay, so picture this. Chris Tucker walks into the casting room fresh off a stand-up tour, completely unprepared, and having never even read the script. He had no idea that comedians improvised during auditions, so he just bombed. And he did it hard. Most casting directors would have shown him the door immediately, but casting director Kim Hart saw raw potential buried beneath that disaster. She gave him something rare in Hollywood, a second chance. Tucker came back prepared, and this time, pure fire. That moment of faith changed everything. Can you imagine Friday without Smokey? Here's Hollywood's politics in action. DJ Pooh co-wrote Friday and was originally supposed to play Smokey himself, but New Line Cinema wanted a more experienced actor for such a crucial role. So Pooh got bumped down to playing Red, the guy that gets his bike stolen. That corporate decision opened the door for Tucker's breakout performance. Sometimes getting rejected from your own project leads to something even better. Would the movie have been the same with Pooh as Smokey? What do you think? Ice Cube and DJ Pooh initially pitched Friday in black and white, inspired by the indie success of Clerks that came out around the same time. They wanted that stripped-down, low-budget aesthetic that Kevin Smith mastered. While they ultimately shot it in color, the original vision that shaped the film's single location was intimate vibes. It's wild to imagine Friday without its vibrant South Central colors. But that Clerks influence explains why the movie feels so authentic and unpolished in the best way possible. But the indie roots weren't the only risk they took. Filming at South Central meant navigating some pretty dangerous gang territory. The production had to ban all red clothing on set because they were shooting in Crip's territory. Wearing the wrong color could literally get you killed. Armed security escorted the crew through different neighborhoods because they never knew how locals would react to cameras and equipment. F. Gary Gray grew up in these streets, but he even understood the risks. Ever wonder why authentic location shooting is so rare? This is why. Would you ever take a job that dangerous to tell your story? Let us know in the comments. Smokey was not just a wild stoner character. He was actually based on DJ Pooh's real-life experiences dealing weed in the hood. That paranoia, hustler mentality, those street-smart one-liners, all rooted in real life. Pooh channeled his own memories into the script, making Smokey feel genuine instead of a Hollywood stereotype. When you watch Smokey's scenes, you're seeing authentic street culture translated through comedy. Does knowing what the backstory is change how you see the character? "You got knocked the F out" might be the most quoted line from Friday or any movie, but it was not in the original script. Chris Tucker improvised it on the spot. Director F. Gary Gray gave his actors the freedom to ad-lib, and even under intense time pressure, these unscripted moments give Friday the lasting magic, the kind of spontaneous comedy gold that you can't manufacture. How many other iconic movie lines started as happy accidents, but the most surprising cameos, you probably never even noticed them. Hey, if you dig these behind-the-scenes reveals, drop us a fire emoji in the comments and let us know which Friday scene hit different now that you know the real story. Before Michael Clarke Duncan became an Oscar-nominated powerhouse in The Green Mile, he was just a background extra on Friday. Blink during the flashback scene where Red confronts Debo about his stolen bike and you're gonna miss him. Duncan was taking any work he could get, building towards his big breakthrough. Meanwhile, 13-year-old Megan Good made her theatrical debut as the kid Smokey shoves away from Big Worm's ice cream truck. Two future stars barely visible, just grinding their way on up. Did you ever spot Megan Good or Michael Clarke Duncan before now? Comment "found him" if you did. New Line Cinema gave Friday just $3.5 million and 21 days to shoot. That pressure could have destroyed the film, but instead it forced everyone to stay sharp and creative. F. Gary Gray was only 26 and directing his first movie, but he even found time to cameo as the liquor store janitor who tells Izald that the floor isn't wet. That breakneck pace did not hurt Friday. It made the performance feel urgent and alive. Ever notice how some of the best movies come from impossible deadlines? Bye, Felicia was just another throwaway line until social media discovered it in about 2012.
Crip.
Bye, Felicia.
Angela Means, who played Felicia, says Ice Cube improvised the dismissal based on her performance. For years, nobody paid any attention to it. Then YouTube and Twitter turned it into one of the most recognizable memes in internet history. Now it is permanently embedded in pop culture. Isn't it crazy how some lines become immortal completely by accident? Okay, pause. Did you know a simple movie soundtrack almost destroyed a rap crew? The Friday soundtrack didn't just complement the movie, it sparked some hip-hop drama. Ice Cube's track Friday borrowed heavily from Cypress Hill's unreleased song Throw Your Set. Be Real from Cypress Hill took that personally, claiming that Cube had heard their track during studio collaboration. The feud blew up into diss tracks with Cypress Hill dropping No Rest for the Wicked and West Side Connection firing back with King of the Hill. Sometimes movie soundtracks become battlegrounds. The director's cut of Friday runs over 5 minutes longer and includes 10 altered scenes that completely change the experience. You get extended neighborhood introductions, longer speeches from Mr. Jones about his rough childhood and government cheese, and Felicia's first appearance where she tries to steal Craig's entire microwave. These scenes were actually used in buffers in censored TV versions to replace time lost from cutting out the swear words. There's a whole deeper version of Friday that hides out in plain sight. Keep the Heads Ringin' became a massive hit from the Friday soundtrack, and it also marked Dre's final solo words on Death Row Records. At the end of the track, he shouts out the label that made him a superstar. Shortly after, he left the empire he helped build, walking away from Suge Knight and Death Row forever. That Friday soundtrack captured the exact moment when West Coast's hip-hop power structure was about to explode. Talk about perfect timing. That second audition didn't just save Chris Tucker's career, it gave us a modern classic that still echoes in memes, music, and movie quotes 30 years later. From chaos and tight budgets came pure creative magic that happens when filmmakers decide to show their neighborhood's lighter side. What's your favorite Friday quote that still makes you laugh? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button if this dive into Hollywood history surprised you, and subscribe to Prime Time Throwback for more stories about the movies that shaped our culture. Trust us, there's always more than meets the eye.